Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you are watching the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product reviews, and answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, is Chris going to hold up his towel again today? Indeed I am, because it's still Towel Week over on LockerGnome.com. We found some awesome Star Trek towels that look like they're the uniforms of the officers in Star Trek, including a red shirt, which is a bad idea to wear a red shirt in Star Trek, because then that means you're not going to be around for much longer. But red shirt's a great cologne. I'm wearing it right now. I don't know if you can smell it. Diana can. It's the cologne that I was wearing the first day we met in real life. Did you know that? A little bit of trivia. I was wearing red shirt, the cologne, not an actual red shirt. So yes, still Towel Week, because on May 25th, that is not today, 3 days from now, we'll be celebrating Towel Day, because, you know, Douglas Adams was an awesome person. And the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reminds everybody not to panic and to remember to like this video, if you like it. I'm assuming you do, because you're watching this video, possibly live on YouTube, as it's being streamed directly from my chest to you. Thanks in large part to these people. The 805 patrons have made this possible. Thank you very much. ChrisPirillo.com is where you can go. It redirects you to the campaign. Yes, they do take PayPal, so it's easy to do. And honestly, I got to throw this out there anyway, because we finally have, I think, completed what is going to be possibly uploaded today or tomorrow, depending on if I get time. The What's on My iPad video, 2014. And it ended up being about a half hour long. John Prosser ended up editing it, and he did a fantastic job. I did it while I was drunk, so it's going to be very lively. This drunk What's on My iPad 2014 video. A half hour video of me talking about the iPad while I'm a little tired and just slightly inebriated. But, you know, it was informative and fun at the same time. That video is not likely to be made public, although we may publish just kind of a highlight reel, like a 3-minute teaser, for everybody to see. And then, of course, you know, the patrons get the full thing. But, you know, a teaser's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people are asking, hey, Chris, what's on your iPad? Well, I want to give you the things that you want, and the patrons help make that possible. Deals.LockerGnome.com has got a massive design bundle going on right now. If you are ever needing anything in relation to graphics and design, whether it's web design, desktop publishing, or whatever, you may want to check it out, because you can save a bundle of money. And you don't really want to download graphics or images from the web sometimes, especially if you're making you know, something that you're being paid for, like a commercial venture of sorts. You want to have solid assets that you know you are licensed to use. That's why you'd want to be taking advantage of something like the design bundle. Oh, I made a typo. That's okay, it's just a typo that I'm going to see. I made a note here reminding me to tell people what's on my iPad. And I meant to say iPad, but I already did that. So, the Lego Ninjago movie is coming September 23rd, 2016. So, it's a few years away. I don't know how I feel about this. I, of course, enjoy the world of Lego, and I think the Lego movie was fantastic for a few different reasons. One, great writing. Two, amazing animation. I never did a review on the Lego movie. I never did, and I'm thinking about doing that. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a regular series in this channel for Geeky Entertainment, in my reviews on Geeky Entertainment. You know, sometimes that might be a comic book, sometimes it might be a movie, sometimes it might be a TV show, episode, whatever. And, you know, possibly do that on a weekly basis. And so, I don't know, what do you guys think? You guys want regular, I mean, because I saw Captain America, the Winter Soldier, didn't do a review on that. Want to see Spider-Man 2, just haven't had time, but see, of course, if I create some content around it, maybe you guys will like it. So would you like to see Geeky Entertainment reviews from me? That's my, if I have one question to ask you today, it is that. So the Lego Ninjago movie's coming in 2016. What's interesting is that I guess Ninjago is sold really well for Lego, but I don't know if it's going to capture the same magic that the Lego movie did, because the Lego movie didn't really, I mean, obviously it was product placement. Hello, the Lego movie. But it wasn't about any one particular world. And Ninjago is about that one particular world, and the story's going to have to be really compelling for it to do half as well as the Lego movie did. So I'll be very interested in seeing it, of course. I haven't watched a lot of Lego cartoon entertainment like Chima or even the Yoda Chronicles, or the Star Wars stuff that's been released, other Star Wars stuff, I should say, within the LEGO Animation universe. I enjoy a good brick film, don't get me wrong. Love a good brick film. That would be someone, doing stop motion animation with Lego minifigures and Lego bricks and everything. But that's very time intensive, and you got to be really talented to pull one of those off. I mean, one that's worth watching and sharing, that is. So next Lego movie is going to be about Ninjago. I'm happy, but I'm not, excited. Does that make sense? I can be happy and not excited at the same time. I think I can be like right in between. That's where I'm going to be. I'm probably, a bit more excited about other bits of news that I wanted to cover, but I'm maybe equally as interested, not as excited about this other bit of news. The streaming feature, the Steam in-home streaming, Steam, Steam, the game, you download games to your Steam account and you play them. Well, they've got this feature that was in beta that would allow you to basically stream your game anywhere in the house and anywhere that you could, connect your Steam controlled device to, like, whether you have like one of the, Steam OS boxes or Steam boxes, whatever they're calling those Steam PCs. I don't have one, don't have really any plans on getting one either. I'm not a gamer, you guys should know that, and gals should too. So, the idea is that you can play it anywhere, and I think that's killer. Steam, to me, is quickly becoming the killer gaming platform because it's about as close as ubiquitous as we've seen to this point. So whether your Steam account is being accessed on OS X, on a traditional Windows PC, whatever, you'd be able to get to it anywhere with this Steam in-home streaming capability. Fantastic release. It's out of beta. Give it a shot if you're into it, and I'm guessing if you're into it, you already knew the answer to that. Or you already knew about that news because it was actually announced yesterday that it was available for release. Couldn't get to a lot of this news yesterday because I kind of talked a lot about WWDC and then pounded a few more trolls with my talk about the Surface 3 positioning. Some people said, well, I don't think people are going to like being called stupid. Well, if you take offense to me calling someone stupid, you're not the person I'm talking about. I was referring to people who aren't really a part of the community, but they kind of come in from the outside and have no context whatsoever. It's one of the frustrations I have in putting my content out there for everybody is that you just invite this just insanely bigoted group of people. That's no other way of putting it. Bigot. You're a bigot if you think that your OS is better than everybody else's. That's just what it is. I mean, it's a horrible word with negative connotations, but that's what it is. Why do you think I like everything? Because everything is awesome! Everything is cool when you're part of a team! Everything is awesome! When you're living out a dream. Next bit of news. NASA signs an agreement with citizen scientists. Apparently this is such a thing. Citizen scientists. Attempting to communicate with an old spacecraft. This is kind of neat. I really like the idea that, the spacecraft wasn't doing anything, wasn't going anywhere, and is going to be coming close to Earth's orbit again, or at least, close enough that NASA could communicate with the satellite, which is no longer being actively used. So now they're just basically turning over communication availability to the satellite to citizen scientists. I like that. That's feel good, right? I mean, considering that our government, the U.S. government, basically funds NASA in large part. I mean, it's a government agency, nasa.gov. Hello. So the fact that they're allowing U.S. citizens, potentially citizens beyond the U.S. borders, to communicate with the satellite, I mean, it's kind of ours anyway, isn't it? And if you look at it from a bigger picture, like if you take a look at a distance, the pale blue dot. How's that for a geeky reference? Did you get it? If not, I really gotta school you. So the idea that anything that humanity does should eventually become humanity's. I think that idea is going to catch hold when we realize we're not alone in the universe, and that I will dovetail now into a story I just ran across, published in the Huffington Post. And I was planning on getting to this later in the video, but I think it makes sense now. Aliens are almost definitely out there, so say SETI astronomers. This is what they've told Congress. So SETI is about as legit as Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's about as legit as it gets. Because I know there are people out there who've had close encounters, and I've known these people in real life, and I've never had an experience myself, so I can only, listen vicariously, and I trust these people. And I'm sure there's a lot out there that could be explained, but I know there's a lot that can't be explained. Well, now science has reached the point where we can make some pretty informed decisions, knowing, or not informed decisions, informed guesses, better informed guesses, because we're getting all this data, and it's like, hey, look, there's probably other life out there, probably. We haven't necessarily nailed that down exactly, but the probability is getting higher by the day, which is good. And so I think it's good, because the moment we realize that we are definitely not alone in the universe, galaxy, universe, whatever, this plane of existence, once we recognize that there's another intelligent species out there, big if, and believe me, I'm excited for it, whether they are benevolent or malevolent, hopefully more benevolent than malevolent, but the idea should theoretically unify us. Because now, instead of just being, I'm a citizen of this country, I'm an iPhone user, no, F that, dude, you're like, this is like planet Earth, this is it, this is us now, we are the planet, we represent the planet. So I think it would be fantastic to be able to not just accept that idea, but to have definitive proof that is irrefutable. And we're inching closer to that. Just kind of exciting to talk about that. I mean, you want to talk about geeky. That's the stuff sci-fi was made of. Aliens. I think they're out there. I just don't know. Nest. Those that company that was acquired by Google. Let me finish this thought, and then I'll get to the second one. They've recalled all of their Nest Protect smoke alarms. So if you have a Nest Protect smoke alarm, you need to return it. Apparently, there's this feature, I don't know what the hell they were smoking, where if you wave your arms in front of this Nest Protect, the smoke detector, it'll turn off. That's not really a good idea, because I'm guessing that if stuff's on fire around you and you're doing this, which you're probably doing, because hello, I know they tell you to stay calm, but that's probably not what you're doing, the smoke alarm could just turn off. It's a bad idea, right? So it's been recalled. So return it. I do not have a Nest smoke protector. I'd think about it. I'd consider it. It's kind of an interesting idea, but anyway, I don't have one. Don't have Nest thermostats either. I have other internet-controlled thermostats, though. What's interesting about the Nest is that Google apparently had released a patent application talking about how they may serve up advertisements on Nest thermostats or any Google-controlled device. Then they came out and said, well, we're never actually going to do that. But, there's a possibility that it could happen. I mean, Google has gone back on its word many times over. So, I mean, they're a company. There's a corporation, right? Just about as far as you can throw them. Just like any corporation, right? But they're all good. I mean, hey, I love every corporation equally. I genuinely do. And I think they did a good job to get to this point. Helping consumers better be connected with the world around them. Cannot wait to see what comes out of their labs with their self-driving cars. I think that is it's the beginning of the future that we're right now in the present. Speaking of cars, I mentioned this on Twitter and Facebook the other day. Got a lot of feedback, including a personal invitation to go down to the Tesla Motors outfit down at one of the malls. I'm when our lease is up for renewal, because I lease cars, I don't buy them outright. I'm curious. I don't know what I should get next. I don't what I should have my eye on. I'm not into muscle cars, not into SUVs. I'm into gas efficiency if I use gas at all. I'm seriously thinking about going full electric. I really genuinely am. I'm looking for guidance from the community. If you have any thoughts on that matter, feel free to posit them. So I think they did a good job acquiring Nest, putting Nest in place, taking Nest to the next level. I have no problem with what Nest was before Google or what Nest is at Google. I don't think they'll ever serve advertising on Nest. They're having that as an option, and patents, you've heard me talk about them before, so I don't want to dive into them too deeply. But it's basically there to say that they have the ability to do it and they have the patent on it. So I don't think they will. I don't think you're going to see, despite what all these knee-jerk journalists, they didn't cite from the source, to get a direct quote from Google. They just kind of went off and said, "Oh, Google's going to serve ads on Nest." Well, it could happen. Will it? I don't know. But Google does have the possibility of doing that, but we don't know if it's an absolute. Okay, this one's going to really thrill you gamers, or it should. And I hope to God you guys are paying attention, or else you have to stay on YouTube after this video. That's paying attention. To LockerGnome.com, we posted something, the big game deal hunting today. Tons of massive discounts on some pretty big games, including a PC game bundle, Mac game bundle, Hoyle Card Games, PC and Mac, Sonic Everywhere, South Park is, you can save $20 on that, Street Fighter X, The Walking Dead, Torchlight, and Aliens vs. Predator. Massive discounts on games, largely PC, some Mac. You should take a look at that list roundup we've put together for you there. Just click the links there and you win. Oh, the links, by the way, for everything I'm talking about here are in this video's description. Found out last night through a random tweet, Jumpman is coming back. One of the games that I grew up with. We had a Jumpman Jr. cartridge on the Commodore 64. I loved that game. Oh, I beat that game so bad. So good. So awesomely. Loved that game. And I've used Jumpman clones and emulators over the years. Well, apparently, it's going to make a big comeback. It's available right now on Ouya. I don't have an Ouya. But the developer is working on a PC version, a Mac version, an iOS, and an Android version. So I can't wait. What I want is classic gameplay, classic graphics, classic sounds. That's all. I mean, everything else, I don't like the updated stuff. It's okay. But anyway, more information, jumpmanforever.com. If you want to know the kind of game I grew up with and loved, that was it. Be in Star Wars Episode 7 if you want. This was one bit of news that I feel very disappointed that I wasn't able to cover yesterday, and I'm going to dive into this right now as I press play to give the patrons credits. These are not all the patrons, of course. These are just the patrons at that level or higher who get their name or website displayed in every TLDR, because I fulfill every one of the promises that I make. So, this is the big news. So, J.J. Abrams basically published a video in the Star Wars channel, from the set of, one of the sets of Star Wars Episode 7, saying that if you donate money for UNICEF, there's a possibility that you could be in Star Wars Episode 7. So one fan out there is going to be in Star Wars Episode 7. It's pretty cool. So that was an interesting announcement. We were all, of course, watching and analyzing every bit of it. Well, during that clip, if you watch it for no other reason, during that clip, a puppeteer basically comes out, walks out on screen, no CGI, and actual in costume. It's like this camel-looking creature thing that's got a box on its back with little things sticking out, like babies or something like that. I can't. What's the best way to describe it? I don't know. It's a new creature. It's one we've not seen before in the Star Wars universe that we know of. There was actually a photo that was tweeted out by Star Wars 7 News, and it basically pointed to a potential character, or at least a species for this character. It looked very, very close to what this character could be, but who knows? Is it a major character? I doubt that's how they'd roll it out. Are they sending a message? Well, the message they could be sending is that they're not relying heavily on CGI, which is great. And I think that's, it got me excited. Good to see the creature. I'm just like staring at the creature. I was always fascinated with the creatures of Star Wars, more than any other creatures in any other galaxy in sci-fi. So take a look at that teaser, even if you do not want to donate to be have a possibility of being in Episode 7. Batman Superman movie. The title has been announced and apparently has pissed off just about every Batman and Superman fan out there. Batman v Superman, not versus, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. I think the title's badass. I like it. Dawn of Justice? That sounds cool. Because, of course, the Justice League and everything, and I grew up with it. Wasn't, I think in the DC universe, I liked watching, what was it called? Superman and Friends? No, the Justice League? What was the old cartoon called? Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, the dog was barking while his father was live streaming on the internet. Yeah, that one. Justice League? I loved the cartoon. Really did. Had even some of the DC action figures too. I almost said Marvin the Martian. No, Martian Manhunter. I had Firestorm, Green Lantern. I don't think I have those figures anymore though, sadly. So anyway, Batman v Superman, the Dawn of Justice, or just Dawn of Justice. I think it's a great title. I wouldn't consider myself a Batman Superman fan. I've enjoyed the movies that have been produced at this point. Can't say that I was all that thrilled with Man of Steel. I just thought the story was kind of weak. And honestly, that's what gets me with any movie anymore. Story, character. I mean, the graphics, special effects, I mean, those are nice. Action is great, but I've seen so much of that everywhere that that's not thrilling for me to see in the movies anymore. I felt that same way with a lot of the Star Trek movies, rebooted or otherwise, especially the Next Generation movies that came out. Like when I watched Generations, on the big screen, I just remember thinking, God, that could have been a Next Generation episode on TV. That didn't feel like a movie. I mean, it felt like a movie, but I think that was the beginning of the end for me, in terms of being wowed by a lot of what I was expecting to see at the cinema. And it just made me appreciate story even more. And generally speaking, if I don't want to, walk out, or if I don't want the movie to end, then I know it's a good movie. And I have those benchmarks. I know a lot of people are a lot pickier than I am. Like, I'll watch some reviews, I'm like, damn, that's a good critique, but I didn't look that far into it. I didn't realize that, okay, I guess that's an issue, but I suspend disbelief. I do my best, especially when I'm watching fiction like that. YouTube is that you're watching. Sorry, I was starting to read the headline and realized that your name could be there. I'm going to kick in the screensaver there. YouTube has released a video, the YouTube Creator Preview. I appreciate that they did this. They're talking about some of the things they're working on in a general sense. They're not talking specifics. One of the features they talked about was offering a tip jar. I said I was going to kick in the screensaver. Hello? Can't talk to my computer like that. It doesn't listen. Well, I can talk. It just doesn't listen. The YouTube Creator Preview that was posted, they mentioned a tip jar, and I thought, okay, that's nice. I've had tip jars throughout the years. Hey, send donations here, send donations there, but rarely would that happen. Rarely. I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I don't think it's going to get used. I really don't. I wish that YouTube had a patron-like service, and I think it would do very, very well. Trust me, I think that doing like what we've been doing at the Patreon campaign is the future for a lot of content producers. And I'm going to put a finer point on that. Okay, first of all, watch the video. I linked it in the YouTube channel. It's a big deal for you to understand. Even if you're not a YouTube producer, you got to understand what we go through on the other side. We're living as transparently as we can be, but we're facing certain issues. I came across this article and it was almost dead on balls perfect. So the Facebook product director was basically furious at Facebook's effect on news. He was upset. He said, well, I don't understand why this news outlet published this article and it got more attention than the other articles. And then the news outlet, Vox, he said, well, it's not our fault. Like, Facebook drives a lot of attention, and so it's really your fault. If you're sitting here complaining about us, you should be complaining about your own algorithm. And they're right. There was a great quote in this article, and this is very, very key in on this, folks. Okay? You guys want to know why the web's changing and how it's changing and how it affects you because it affects me? Because if I'm talking to you right now, I'm obviously affecting your life. You're listening. The bulk of web traffic is driven by social media, and the bulk of social traffic is driven by Facebook. This is why content producers are upset that you're not seeing the stuff that they're putting on Facebook. Because if it ain't on Facebook, you're not seeing it. There's a lot to pay attention to. It's impossible to play the traffic game anymore. You can't do it. You may enjoy this content to the point where you're enjoying this content right now. I guarantee it. You know why? Because I've been doing it 24 minutes now. And the fact that you tuned in this long says everything to me. It tells me that you're interested in my take on something or what I find interesting for today. That's great. But there are a lot of people who would want to see it who are never going to see it. There are people who said they want to see it and they'll never see it. It's impossible to play the content game with yesterday's model. I think, the idea of SEO it's a good idea, but I think the model for me is dead. I'm all about CEO. SEO? Oh yeah, Community Engine Optimization. CEO. You're the CEO. The community. Because in many ways you dictate how well this does, how much I'm able to do. So on my blog, chris.pirillo.com, been trying to answer questions every day. We've answered like 4 or 5, the community. So we've taken in the questions, I've answered the questions, post them as blog posts. I don't think anybody's paying attention. Even the people who asked the questions in the first place aren't paying attention. So you know what? We're going to scale that back. instead of me doing more of the things that you say you want me to do more of. Since the bulk of the community isn't getting it, I can't just keep doing things when no one's paying attention. It just doesn't work. That's wasting time. It's wasting breath. I don't want to do that. Who wants to do that? Who wakes up in the morning and says, I want to waste my day? Not me. Not into it at all. So I'm going to scale that back and drive the questions and answers as asked by the people who do care enough to read. Who do care enough not to just ask, but to follow up with and expect a response. Because believe you me, I get a lot of people who ask me questions. And I don't have enough time to answer everybody's question. So instead of answering 5 a day, it may get scaled back to 1 or 2 a day. And I don't even know if scaling back's going to, even out. Because here's the thing, with blogs, search engine traffic. Well, the old model is ad revenue or sponsorship. Well, you got to have traffic to have ad revenue, and sponsorship, well, you get it or you don't get it, and if you don't get it, you can't pay for it, and let's face it, you can't get every banana for free. Just not how it works. So the fact that they came out and said the bulk of web traffic is driven by social media. Listen to that. When I sit here and say, look, when you guys take something that we've done and share it, it means everything. Everything. When I answer a question, whether it was your question or not, when you put your 2 cents in or you share that question forward because it may help someone that's great. When we feature something on LockerGnome.com that you find awesome, don't just sit there in your head and go, God, that's awesome. Tell someone! Because that's the only way. That's the only way this kind of stuff is going to continue to happen. Because I can't rely on numbers. I can't rely on traffic. I can't fight that game. It's impossible. Because then, unfortunately, the quality of... the value of what I do for you doesn't change. But in the marketplace, it might. Even though it stays the same for you and me. Because the nature of content and sharing and attention is changing radically. And if our stuff that we're creating, that we're putting out there, that we find interesting, isn't getting shared, we're probably not going to do it for much longer. How to shift gears. How to go to a different model. How to play the game differently to give you the things that you want. And this is what I'm saying, I'm not the only one, people. It's a big deal. Sharing is caring. It absolutely is. So I appreciate when you guys take the stuff that you find interesting and share it with me if I may not know about it, or you share it with other people if we've created it for you. Allcast Receiver has been released. Allcast software on Android that allows you to basically broadcast to different devices, including Apple TV. The receiver was something that was elusive to this point, so now you can broadcast from one Android device to another. It's kind of neat. You had the broadcaster, now you have the receiver. Again, available on Android, and I do believe it's free. Stephen Palmer yesterday mentioned that the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection service for Nintendo DS and Wii has ended. I guess this upsets a lot of people who used it. I couldn't even tell you what it is. It's a big deal, because I know people are upset. I just don't know. If you used it, it's no longer there. Or if you planned on using it, it's no longer there. And it affects a lot of games, I guess. Okay, on the blog, I answered these 4 questions. What's the difference between a fanboy and a follower? Is online education any good? What do you use the internet for? And how do you deal with anger? I vent. You can tell when I get into something. You just know when I'm kind of ambivalent and when I'm not. Dogs. This was interesting. Dogs can sniff out prostate cancer with 98% accuracy. Sometimes the solution is right under our noses. We don't even, under their noses. I mean, maybe that's why dogs sniff butts. Maybe that's, Wicket loves my prostate then, if that's the case. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they bark at the prostate or what. I don't know the process. But science has now given us dogs who can sniff out prostate cancer. 98% accuracy. Via patron Chris Clark, Google has overtaken Apple as the world's most valuable brand, as reported by Millward Brown's Brands survey. So Google is now a valuable brand, and I could tell you why. I wouldn't say it has anything to do with Android, possibly, because they see Google in your face all the time with an Android device, if that happens to be the device that you're carrying. But it's more that, it's been around for so long, you trust Google like you used to trust the Encyclopedia Britannica as a resource for information, even though Google doesn't really have information. It just surfaces information. And whoever's at the top wins. That's what's so difficult. It's impossible to be at the top anymore. You can't do it. Can't do it. It's impossible. And even the big businesses that have a lot of funding are finding themselves really hurt by Google's changes. I can't fight the search game. What I can do is empower community, and that's exactly what I'm planning on doing in the foreseeable future. Gaming news real quick here. Oh my, this is really upsetting. Hang on, I got a text from Jerry Berg. Jerry, honey, why is Barnacles Nerdgasm sending half-naked pictures of himself to me for you? Yeah! Wasn't expecting to see that when I opened my phone. What I wanted to show you was a handful of LEGO games on iOS. A steep discount to celebrate the LEGO Movie Digital HD release. I ended up downloading a lot of them. Oh no, this one's ScanBot. That's free today. So I downloaded that. I'm going to go ahead and delete that off the phone. These games, these LEGO games, Universal games, usually like $5 in the App Store, or if not more, 99 cents a piece. So I'm like, okay, now's the time to get them. So I basically got like 5 games for the price of 1. LEGO games. I don't really play a lot of the LEGO iOS games, but the fact that they are Universal, and I'm buying them now, at some point when, baby Pirillo grows up and he wants to play, or he or she wants to play the LEGO, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Well, we kind of know, but it could change. Because that's what happens with sexes in the womb, apparently. So I wasn't a slip of the tongue. It could be a boy or it could be a girl. If we reach 1,000 patrons, we'll let the patrons know. So if they want to play it, then I got the games, already got them, and I got them at a discount. So might as well save money up front. All right. I think we are about out of time. I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say today. Yesterday's What Would You Do was, what would you do if someone damaged your equipment? And that was kind of fun to talk about, and I did yesterday. Today is what would you do if you were asked to be the doctor's assistant? So, I assume you know who the Doctor is. Doctor Who? You have to know. You have to. So that is what I'm going to answer in today's What Would You Do exclusive video for the patrons. What would you do if you were asked to be the doctor's assistant? I think the answer will surprise everybody. So stay tuned for that live stream. That'll be recorded and put right into this channel, and I got to do that in about a half hour or so. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's been fun to hang out with y'all virtually. Thanks again for remembering to like, share, comment, subscribe, watch more of our videos right now. Doing everything you do so that I can do what I do for you and then some. I know no other way of life, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing your time with me. Believe you me, it means a lot to me as much as this half hour or so meant to you. So at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.